What if I told you that the truth behind Celeste's death is far stranger than anyone imagined? That someone close to her may have frozen her body, hidden her in a Tesla, and that the main suspect isn't even cooperating with police. Every detail from secret homes and deleted social media accounts to resurfaced live streams and mysterious Fortnite sessions paints a picture so twisted, it's hard to believe it's real. In this video, we're breaking down every shocking clue, every strange move, and the questions no one has answers to yet, including the one everyone is dying to know: who really put Celeste in that car? Hey everyone, I know I've been quiet on this account for a while. With everything going on this year, natural disasters, chaos, pain, I just wanted to come back and talk about something serious. I've learned who moved that Tesla in late July before everything happened. And now, police say they've uncovered new evidence that puts David at the center of Celeste's death. That evidence pushed David to respond, but his reaction only raised more questions. To understand why people are watching his response so closely, you need to know this. David has not been cooperating with police. Investigators have already confirmed that he refuses to help, and they've identified a second suspect in the case. Despite that, David is still one of their main priorities. Celeste's body was found inside David's car. According to the medical examiner, the freezing makes it almost impossible to figure out how she died. Even so, police believe foul play was involved, and they can still make an arrest even without a confirmed cause of death. One of the biggest questions people kept asking was, if Celeste died early in 2025, why didn't the smell start until September? Sources close to the LAPD say it's because Celeste had been frozen for a long period of time. Freezing a body slows down every sign of decay. It seems she was kept frozen, then later moved into David's Tesla. Because of that, medical examiners may never be able to officially determine what killed her. A police report added even more layers to the case. On the night of December 29th, into the early hours of December 30th, 2024, David and Celeste were together in downtown Los Angeles, taking several photos in public. Some strange photos were also found in David's camera roll. Investigators want to know if the shed connected to these images is the place where something happened, but things start looking even worse for David after Celeste's body was discovered. Sources say that right after he hired a new legal team, David began moving his assets out of his own name. It looked like he was preparing for police to close in on him. A lawyer explained why this is a major problem. You can't transfer your assets in the middle of an investigation to try to hide them. Courts can undo those transfers, call them fraudulent, and still use the property to pay fines or judgments. In simple terms, David's attempt to protect his money won't work. The feds also discovered that David had a second private rental home that he never publicly mentioned. Pictures show furniture matching what was in that hidden rental, and Celeste wasn't the only one staying there. David's close friend Neo lived there too. New reports say this doesn't automatically mean Neo is guilty, but based on recent findings and David's online activity, it's possible Neo was the last person to drive the Tesla. Neo has also deleted David from his social media, which raised even more suspicion. None of this is confirmed by officials yet, but it connects to what a private investigator hinted at. Neo might have been involved in moving the Tesla. When asked directly if he knew who moved the Tesla, the investigator said he's confident he knows who did it, but he can't confirm the person's identity. However, he said something important: only one key existed, meaning only someone close had access at that time. Reports also show that David and Neo no longer follow each other on Instagram. That added fuel to rumors that Celeste may have seen something involving the two of them, something that could have damaged David's public image. Old photos of David and Neo resurfaced, showing them posing together like the Titanic scene, lying in bed, and hanging out very closely. And now everyone wants to know the same thing. What really happened to Celeste? And who placed her in that Tesla? Was she silenced because she knew something she wasn't supposed to? The case keeps getting darker, and the truth is beginning to surface. Hey everyone, I know I've been quiet on here for a while, but with everything happening lately, the chaos, the disasters, the stress, I wanted to check in. And with this case getting stranger by the day, there's a lot to talk about. Let's start with the big twist. Police recently uncovered new evidence suggesting David might be connected to Celeste's passing. That discovery finally pushed David to react publicly, which was surprising because he hasn't been cooperating with investigators at all. Reports even confirmed it, saying, David still isn't helping investigators, and there is now a second suspect. David remains a top priority in this case. One major detail still haunting this investigation is the condition in which Celeste was found. Her body was discovered frozen inside David's Tesla, something the medical examiner says may prevent them from ever determining her exact cause of death. Police still believe foul play was involved, and legally, they can still arrest someone even without a confirmed cause. People also kept wondering, if she passed earlier in 2025, why did the smell only appear months later? In September, sources close to LAPD say the answer is disturbing. Celeste may have been frozen elsewhere before being placed in the Tesla. Freezing a body delays decomposition, which explains the strange timeline. A related police report revealed that on December 30th, 2024, David and Celeste were seen together downtown, taking photos both in public and in private settings. Investigators later found unusual pictures on David's camera roll and are now questioning whether a nearby shed could be the original crime scene. But it gets even worse for David. On the exact day Celeste was found, he did something suspicious. He transferred several assets out of his name after hiring a new legal team. Lawyers explained that doing this during an active investigation can be seen as hiding assets. Even if he put them under his mother's name, a court can still undo it. Then, federal investigators discovered something else. David had a second private rental home that no one knew about. Photos from friends showed furniture matching that home. And it wasn't just David staying there. His close friend Neo lived there too. This doesn't prove guilt, but it does raise serious questions. Social media clues show that Neo and David no longer follow each other, and Neo removed all traces of their friendship online. Some believe Neo may have been the last person driving the Tesla, though none of this has been officially confirmed. The private investigator working on the case also hinted at Neo's possible involvement. He explained that surveillance footage shows someone in the house the night the Tesla was moved, and since there's only one key, only a few people could have done it. He couldn't say exactly who it was, but he clearly suspects someone close. Rumors also started circulating about David and Neo having a personal relationship. After old photos resurfaced, including them recreating the Titanic pose and lying in bed together. Whether those rumors matter to the case is unclear, but they added fuel to the growing speculation. Another strange layer to all of this is that no one knows where David is right now. Even members of his team don't seem to know. His lawyer and parents might, but publicly, he's vanished. The only sign of life came when a new song titled Rush briefly appeared on his BandLab account before he deleted it. The private investigator also believes Celeste may have passed much earlier than people think, possibly in January or February. When he first looked at the case, he thought it might just be a tragic accident covered up out of fear. But after reviewing physical evidence found at one of David's houses, he now thinks there may have been a bigger plan involved. What makes everything even stranger is a video David recorded in February 2025. The same period investigators believe Celeste was already gone. In the clip, he talks unusually about death, chaos, and spiritual fear, while encouraging people to keep a sound mind. Some viewers now wonder if he was indirectly hinting at something he'd done, or if he was simply speaking about world events. Then came the timeline that truly raised red flags. September 18th, David transfers his Texas properties into his mother's name. That same day, Celeste is officially identified after being found in his Tesla. One day earlier, LAPD executes a search warrant at his Hollywood Hills rental. That night, a fake emergency call, a swatting is made to his parents' home. Police say the swatting likely came from trolls following the case, but others believe it was a warning, a sign that someone wanted to scare the family or send a message. Old clips of David resurfaced, including one where he says he wants to move to a private island with no social media in 4 years, which would have been exactly when Celeste turned 18. People don't know what to make of that statement, but with everything else going on, it adds yet another layer of mystery. At the center of all of this is the biggest question of all: what really happened to Celeste? And who placed her in that Tesla? There are too many coincidences, too many strange decisions, and too many unanswered questions for this to be a simple case. And with David still missing, everyone believes something big is coming next. But when fans heard this clip again, it hit differently. Out of all the examples he could have used, he chose to describe an alter ego that commits crimes. One fan summed up what many people felt: there are hundreds of harmless examples he could have used, and he picked that one. I can't be the only one seeing how obvious this is. The internet couldn't ignore how strange everything was starting to look. People kept saying, "Am I really the only one noticing how clear this is?" And as that comment spread everywhere, David made a move no one expected. It was reported that David was still online, not by speaking out or defending himself, but by quietly playing Fortnite. Fans tracked his gaming account and noticed he had been logging in while supposedly hiding from the public eye. Many people believe he only hopped on the game to pull attention away from the old interviews that were resurfacing and making him look even worse. Supporters were confused. If David was innocent, why was his first reaction to everything gaming? Most people expected him to address the situation directly, not pretend nothing was happening. But things were only beginning to fall apart for him. Investigators were building a full case file on David, starting with the last confirmed sighting of Celeste on camera. Although she wasn't usually seen in public at his concerts, she often spent time backstage with David's brother. For a while, they hid that well, until one video slipped out. Based on that clip, it appears Celeste was still alive on June 27, 2024, backstage at one of David's shows. And there was one detail that really stood out. She was wearing Hello Kitty sandals. The same sandals her family listed in her missing person report. The pair in the video looks exactly like the ones she disappeared in. But if that wasn't shocking enough, something else resurfaced. An old Twitch livestream from January 11, 2024 showed David on camera with Celeste. He wasn't just casually streaming, he was telling his moderators to delete every clip and wipe the entire stream afterward. Hey, can we delete all the VODs? And when the stream ends, delete the stream too. That moment made a lot more sense in hindsight. People had always found it odd that no one publicly connected David to several younger people he spent time with, but at least one person tried. A musician who worked with David years ago said he attempted to expose the situation in 2023, long before Celeste's name ever appeared in the news. But David's label immediately shut him down and even involved their lawyers to silence him. The musician later explained, "I want to make it clear, what I talked about in 2023 had nothing to do with Celeste. I didn't even know about her. The girls I mentioned back then were completely different. I tried to bring everything to light, and it got so serious that David's legal team contacted me to remove everything." He even shared an email from David's team from that time, showing how quickly they moved to cover things up, even removing the song they made together from streaming platforms, accusing him of spreading misinformation. Despite all the noise online, the timelines, the clips, and the theories, one thing keeps standing out: this situation with David and Celeste gets stranger every time new information drops. People first noticed something was off when fans realized David wasn't addressing the controversy at all. Instead, he popped up playing Fortnite. His account activity showed he'd been quietly logging in and gaming while the entire internet was trying to figure out where he was. Fans couldn't believe that this was his first move if he truly had nothing to hide. Many began wondering if he only appeared online to shift attention away from old interviews resurfacing. But the internet was already digging deeper. Investigators started building a timeline of the last moments Celeste was seen alive. Even though she wasn't usually spotted in public with David, she went to several of his concerts and spent time backstage with David's brother. One slip-up gave people a huge clue. A backstage video from June 27, 2024 allegedly showed Celeste with David's brother. Viewers zoomed in and noticed she was wearing the same Hello Kitty sandals her family mentioned on her missing persons poster. That small detail connected the video directly to her last known outfit and raised even more questions about what happened after that night. But the most shocking discovery came from an old Twitch stream. A resurfaced clip from January 11, 2024 showed David live on camera with Celeste. Everything seemed normal until he suddenly told his moderators to delete all the VODs and clips the minute the stream ended. He even repeated the request to make sure everything got wiped. Looking back, people couldn't believe this moment wasn't noticed earlier. It was one more sign that David had been spending time with younger people long before the public realized it, and someone actually tried to expose this years ago. A former friend who used to make music with David revealed he tried calling out David's behavior in 2023. He said he had heard from other girls who claimed David had messaged them or been involved with them. According to him, David's label stepped in immediately. Their lawyers contacted him, pressured him to delete everything, and even had their old song removed from streaming platforms. When the friend confronted David directly, David brushed it off, saying people were just chasing clout and that there was no evidence. After that, everything went silent, but now, with all the new footage and resurfaced clips, that old warning doesn't look so crazy anymore. Another livestream also surfaced showing David and Celeste together at an arcade, laughing and talking casually. At the time, no one thought twice about it. Today, every interaction between them feels like another piece of a very unsettling puzzle. Hey everyone, I know I haven't posted here in a while, but there's a lot happening this year, and I wanted to break it down for you. Things have been chaotic, disasters, heartbreak, and controversy, but there's one story that's been dominating conversations. The case involving David and Celeste, Rivas Hernandez. It all started when police found new evidence that put David in the spotlight as a suspect in Celeste's passing. Until now, he hadn't been cooperating with investigators, making the situation even murkier. The media reported that David remained a primary suspect, while detectives were also looking into a second person possibly involved. Celeste was discovered, frozen in David's car, which has complicated the medical investigation. Freezing her body preserved it but also made it nearly impossible to determine her cause of death. Sources close to the LAPD suggests that she had been in a frozen state before being placed in David's Tesla. Even with these circumstances, the police can pursue charges if foul play is suspected. Questions swirled about the timing of her death. If she passed earlier in 2025, why did the odor only appear months later? Investigators believe freezing the body delayed decomposition, which aligns with the unusual timeline. Adding to the complexity, reports show that David and Celeste were together in Los Angeles on December 30, 2024, with photos placing them publicly but also hinting at private activity at his properties. Meanwhile, David reportedly transferred his assets to his mother's name after hiring a new legal team, likely anticipating legal trouble. Legal experts note that such transfers, done mid-investigation, can be considered invalid if meant to shield property from legal claims. David also had a second private rental home, which matched furniture seen in pictures taken around the case. He wasn't the only person there, his friend Neo also lived there. Some sources suggest Neo could have been the last person driving the Tesla, though nothing official has been confirmed. Fans noticed a bizarre pattern in David's online activity. Despite being in hiding, he popped up playing Fortnite, possibly to divert attention from previous interviews. Around the same time, resurfaced clips revealed Celeste backstage at one of David's concerts on June 27, 2024. Still wearing the Hello Kitty sandals noted on her missing person poster. She even appeared in a January 2024 livestream with David, who instructed moderators to delete all clips after the session ended. Interestingly, a different girl named Celeste later appeared in another stream wearing similar clothing, sparking speculation that David was attempting to create confusion about the missing girl. Fans and academics also examined his song titles, including Crashing, Where Did It Go Wrong? And Afterlife, connecting them to the ongoing mystery. Celeste's brother spoke publicly, insisting he had no additional information and condemning false claims circulating online. Meanwhile, after the feds searched David's Hollywood Hills home, a Reddit user claimed to find a Tesla key near the house. This key matched the Tesla linked to Celeste, which had been sitting for over 30 days before being repossessed. The sequence of events is confusing and disturbing. The car was reported missing, but it had remained idle long before David left for his tour. The timeline, combined with David's online behavior, his financial maneuvers, and the resurfaced evidence, has left fans and investigators alike trying to piece together the full story.